Wilson Morales from Black Film and TV. Hey, folks, how's it going?
It's good.
Pretty
How are
good.
you?
How are you?
So, Scott, you've been wanting to put this together for a long time. How did it go from being a TV series to a movie? And did you have to cut anything down?
Well, it was always kind of like supposed to be a kind of like a TV series kind of thing. Uh, there will be multiple seasons of this, so this is more along the lines of a TV series type of thing. But we call it an event because this is something that has just never been done before, with the music narrating the story and the animation and everything kind of being married together and having the fashion, the culture, everything. It's just something that's just groundbreaking. Yeah.
For you, Jessica, you're becoming like the go-to rom-com girl, between this and Love Life.
I'm like, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm liking the vibe that they're giving her. She's
were
the girl you
early.
want.
Yeah, they were on it.
We were on it early. We were on it early.
This project took 15 years. And by that, I mean 2.5 years.
So, obviously, having done both, how is Meadow different from Mia, and how did you want to make it different in this particular event?
Oh, for this event, I like to play women in rom-coms that have a lot of warmth. I think, how are they different? Great question. Okay, well, one is animated, one is real life. I'm gonna start at minimum, okay? And also, how are they different? I don't know, they're completely different. Their energies are different. I think Mia she was a bit more chaotic. I think Meadow kind of knows what she wants. I also think Meadow is into the weed as well. And as someone who can't smoke weed, because I feel I get profoundly annoying when I smoke weed. I just go, are you my friend? Are you my friend? Like I become awful. I think Meadow can really handle that. And I think that just makes her generally a cool person. Also, her fashion is cool. I think Meadow is the coolest character technically that I have ever been able to play.
Oh, wow. Yes. You writing that down? Did you get that?
I got it now.
It's
It's on video. It's on video. Don't need to write.
Okay.
To play this character, how do you relate to this character? Like what part of him is you? Is it all of it you?
Oh man. It's okay, so it's a lot of me because like I used to want to be a cartoonist before I had this wacky idea to be a rapper. I used to draw a lot when I was a kid, and whether it was like comic book characters or like, some of my favorite animated shows, I was always drawing something, and that's what I thought my journey was when I was a kid. And I thought that it would be cool to do something in animation because I wanted to be a cartoonist early on. And, this was kind of like me kind of getting into that world a little bit. And I thought it would be cool to like, let me make this character kind of like an artist, because that was like what I was before all the music stuff. Like, let me just make him truly like a comic book artist, and let's make him a BMX biker, because like I always thought that was cool and I never had the balls to try it. So like so I was like throwing in all these different things, and like his apartment is like my apartment in New York. And also like there's one scene where Kai is kind of talking about, he's like, man, you wrote a bitch home on your pigs, and then Jabari is like, man, stop saying bitches. And like originally that wasn't in the script, right? I read that scene, and Jabari just kind of responds and says it's whatever, and doesn't acknowledge that. And I was like, no. I was like, Jabari would say that because he's basically calling Meadow a bitch, and he would say that. He would check his boy, So like things like that. It's like I threw in as much Scott as I could, but I still wanted to make, Jabari like a different dude, like he's a happier guy than Scott Mescudi in a lot of ways. Like my life has been a nightmare, but I feel like this dude has it all figured out,
You're done well. Both of you have.
Really wrap that up.
Yeah.
So keep it going. Hey, if this is an event, let's get the series going, because I want to see these characters.
Sorry, what'd you say? Sorry.
I think if this is an event, let's get the series going, because I want to see where these characters go.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Make it happen. Have a good one, folks.
You got it.
Thank you.
Peace.
Wilson Morales from Black Film TV. Hey, Kenya, how's it going?
What up, Wilson?
Hey, you
Really,
always
really
are
knocked that
involved.
backdrop out the box, huh? Really swung for the fences on that one.
You got to make it ordinary. My old one was kind of so-so until I kept hearing about it. It's like, change it.
I like it.
Your name is always included on a lot of projects. So what came into saying, yes, I'll help you with this one?
Cudi, we had a relationship. We wanted to do it as live action. Mike Moon and Elizabeth Porter really said, like, convince us of how impactful animation can be. Cudi had been working on music. Once you hear the music, I was like, oh yeah, this is the right way to go. And the music would inform the story, then the story started informing music. And we felt like we wanted to do something from a contemporary urban perspective, a love story. There's so many shoot 'em up, bang bangs and this and that, but we don't get to talk about us and our love stories and how we sort of like what it's like sort of being in this place right now. And you're trying to figure your career out. You're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to sort of, we've had our love stories have had not the same necessarily beats to everyone else's. And how do we sort of take and do that in a way that feels fresh? And when you kind of take some of the best animators and creative people with this music and, Virgil Abloh lending his amazing talents and, giving us his legacy to do that. I feel like we brought something together that really hopefully makes an immersive experience.
Well, that's the sell. We always get the boy meets girl, boy gets girl, boy, they have an argument, at some point they're going to get back together. We know the premise of it. It's just a matter of whether or not the surroundings of it,
That's right.
It works out, and obviously
That's
with
right.
the drawings and with the music, it plays well, especially with the characters and the dialogue for people
Thank
who
you.
can feel connected with it. Was there a point in terms of the script whether or not you making it for everybody, or is this R-rated?
R meaning hour or R meaning R?
R-rated, like, rating, like anybody can watch this,
I think it's
by listening to
adult.
some of the
I think
dialogue?
this is adult animation, but I think Euphoria is an adult show that my 13-year-old daughter has probably seen way more than she should. But I think that it's adult animation. You know what I'm saying? But I think it'll appeal to a wide group. I don't think there's anything that is so blue that it makes will make parents say like this isn't for me. I think that it's an honest story. And I think that we wanted to do it in a way that felt organic and felt real to who the characters were. And so some of that makes it a little bit more, adult, but I definitely feel like it is something that, we want this to be as wide spanning as possible. And we also want it to be something that feels like it elevates the genre, you know what I'm saying? And raises the bar, for us and for everyone else.
Animation can take a while to make, especially when you hear the stories as far as the drawings and all of that stuff. Would it have been a challenge if you made this live action?
Yes. Yeah, it would have been a challenge. I mean, it probably would have happened much quicker. But I have to say, I don't think it would have come nearly as close to being as special, because I think this was a very, very, very special proprietary project that needed all these things. And I think I don't think there's anything else that's been done like it.
And then when you finish, every time you do a project, I'm thinking you're learning something new, and this is something new for you and so forth.
Absolutely.
What did you get from working on this project that you can take on to future projects?
And the collaborative nature of just what we do. I think the intentionality behind animation has taught me things about even live action. Everything you see in animation is absolutely done on purpose. There's no accidents. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of happy accidents that happen in live action. The intentionality behind every scene, behind every frame really kind of taught me, like, as I'm going back into what I do in live action, I want to sort of try to bring as much of that intentionality in that process as I can.
Kenya, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. Good luck on your next
too, bro.
project. We're here to support. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, bro. See you later.